Testing 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Gotta do it better than that.
1, 2, 3.
You gotta sing that joint. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Are we really doing this right now?
I might leave this in. You don't even know. This might be the opener right here.
Testing.
Yep, there's our intro. Let's go.
Hi, this is Zap, and welcome to the Reset and Zap podcast.
No, I'm serious. Go. Let's go. I'm leaving it in. Let's go. This is the intro.
Look, are you serious?
Yeah, let's go.
Welcome to the Reset and Zap podcast. I am your host, Zap, and as always, I have with me my co-host.
Hey, everybody. What's up? It's your boy, TJ.
And in this episode, we're going to touch on a topic that I just need to take it off my chest.
Okay.
And it's all about cancel culture.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, we're going to be starting it off with a stop segment, which is actually one of my favorite segments, by the way. Like, his is Chef Kiss, mine is Stop.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, in the stop segment, I'm going to talk about what is cancel culture from a more educational point.
Okay.
So, you know, we're gonna inform people.
So
we're gonna
teach me something?
I'm about to teach y'all a little bit.
You gonna educate me a little bit?
I'm about to educate you through the good old e-funny. You know?
Let's get it.
But of course, you know, we're going to touch this topic from the aspect of, you know, social media and of course the internet. And then we're going to transition to something very special, which is our spotlight segment.
Okay.
And in our spotlight segment, I'm going to reveal a list of things that you can do to better yourself as a person.
Okay.
Since we're talking about cancel culture.
This is going to be interesting because I actually have no idea what's going to happen in this episode.
I actually want to ask you, do you even have an idea or what you think cancel culture might mean?
What I think it is, or what I think it's supposed to be.
What you think it like? How do you think people perceive what cancel culture is?
What it is perceived to be is silencing someone's opinion who they don't agree with.
Okay.
That's basically like what the people think they do when they're canceling somebody. It's like, okay, I don't agree with what you're saying, so we're going to cancel you so that your voice is no longer heard and that your opinions are no longer valid and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to take you off of all your platforms and like remove you from whatever.
And is that how you perceive it? Like, how do you perceive it versus, you know, how you think?
How do I perceive it?
Yeah. Do we need to leave that for when I start?
Yeah, you might want to leave that.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about what is cancel culture and the effects that it has nowadays on social media and in the internet. But of course, here at the Reset and Zap podcast is all about resetting and being in the right mindset for a brand new week.
Nice. I liked how you slowed it down right there.
Yeah,
Nice.
you see what I did?
That was good. I like it.
Yeah, because I got to remind people this is a weekly.
That's what we in the music industry call delivery.
A delivery?
Nice delivery. It was nice delivery.
Brand new week.
Yeah.
I should just leave it at that. So if you're ready, like I am, we're just gonna dive quickly into stop. You ready to
Quickly?
hit them? Yeah.
Okay. Pew! Hey,
Pew.
that was quick.
That's not fair. You beat me to it. Pew. Let's do it again. It's gonna be a duel. 3, 2, 1.
Pew.
Pew. Yeah. Can we stop? Alrighty, that's enough. All right.
I mean, I stopped. You asked me, could I stop? So I
We did stop. And especially y'all over there. I hope y'all stopped. And if not, you got a problem. You got to keep up with the times here at the Reset and Zap podcast.
Yeah.
Let's talk about cancel culture because
Let's talk about it.
this is something this is something I've been wanting to talk about
Let's get
for
it.
the longest. All right.
Let's get it.
I actually took the time to write out my own thoughts.
Okay.
And I've written what I like to call a mini essay, a mini article
Okay.
in regards to cancel culture.
All right. This should be interesting.
So I'm gonna lay out there my opinion and my thoughts for cancel culture. Of course, with some educational points, because like I said, we're gonna educate people because it might not be what people think it is.
All right. Go ahead and teach, teacher.
All right, so let's talk about cancel culture and the effects that it has on all digital platforms.
Okay.
Currently, as of right now.
Right now.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X.
It's not. There's no such thing as Twitter now. It's called X.
It's disgusting. YouTube. What else? Am I missing any other platform? The ones that keep arising that I don't even know.
Did you say TikTok?
TikTok, of course, TikTok that is no longer soon it's gonna be here in the USA. But yeah, TikTok, Twitch. I guess Twitch. What do you count Twitch?
I guess.
Yeah, just cancel culture in general. All right. So cancel culture comes from the idea that you did something wrong and you deserve to be canceled. When in actuality, it is just bullying.
Yeah.
So cancel culture has slowly become bullying in disguise. And we've normalized bullying a little too much, both on social media and in the internet.
Agreed.
Which is something that I wanted to see if you agree with that.
Actually, when we were at the beginning of the podcast, you was asking me what I perceive cancel culture to be. And the reason I wanted to hold on to that because it was going to be an interesting thought. I think that cancel culture is an excuse to try to win an argument. That's what I see cancel culture as.
It's like a one-sided
We're
argument.
having a discussion about something. I don't agree with what you say, so I'm going to get the cancel culture against you so that your opinions are invalidated.
Pull out the cancel hammer. It's
Yeah.
like, psh, you don't agree with me? I'm going to cancel
Yeah,
you.
like this is like a cheap, inefficient way to try to win an argument.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're wrong, so you're going to get canceled. And if you get canceled, then that proves that you were wrong and blah, 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 blah. And even beyond that, it's not a real thing.
No. And that's where I brought the bullying part of it because and you're going to see what I mean, cuz when it comes to me, I am a strong believer of giving out second chances. If I believe that this person can possibly steer away from their errors or any mistakes they made, and they're ready to amend those mistakes or their behavior, their beliefs with proper boundaries set in place, of course, until you have fully earned my trust. But if what they've done is something that they knowingly, they've put someone else's safety in danger, then second chances don't exist. Especially if the person goes beyond measures to even threaten or gaslight the person who is a victim of those malicious acts done to them.
For me, it's more of it's a reason why they say that the woman is the better half of a man, because I don't give second chances. I don't know. It's once you cross me, it's kind of just all right, you're free to go your way, I'm free to go my way kind of thing. But as it pertains to cancel culture, I get it. Some people are allowed to make mistakes and blah, 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 and I get it. But at the end of the day, I just don't think it's a real thing. How do you cancel somebody? What does that even entail? What does that even really mean? We're going to take away your YouTube platform, but is that person really canceled? Did that person's opinion really change? Did it do anything that was actually effective?
And that's why I made it clear, because when I say I give second chances to someone nowadays compared to back in the day, it has to be something that was a minimal error, maybe a misunderstanding in some sort of argument we had, or some sort of mistake that, like I said, is not jeopardizing someone else's safety, self-esteem, so we can go around it, with proper boundaries until you fully earned my trust. But if you've been overruling and stepping over and over, my boundaries and offending me and threatening me and gaslighting me, that what I am experiencing as the victim is not legitimate, then at that point there's no such thing as second chances. So like, don't get me wrong, I think nowadays, especially on digital platforms such as social media, YouTube, and all these platforms that we now have, it's good to hold someone accountable. Like, I ain't got no problem with holding someone accountable and tell them why they've done something wrong. But let's be honest, when the internet hates you, they hate you. Yeah. Okay? And they hate you in the most evilest way. Like, they'll go years ago and find a picture of your great-great-grandma and something weird about her face and come up to you and tell you, this is why you look ugly and you look like this, because your great-great-grandma back in 1978 had a mole or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, when people want to hate you, they literally, sometimes I've noticed even that when creators become vulnerable and have confessed something out of, in a vulnerable state, then a lot of these people that hate will even have the audacity to use those remarks and then use it against that person. Oh, well, you said 3-4 years ago this and this and that. But I'm like, people change.
Yeah. And I see what you're saying there. Like, yeah, people can change, and you can't be trying to use people's past against them and all that kind of so on and so forth. I totally get that. So I see where you're coming from that aspect. And like I said, once again, for me, it's like you said, it's like a bullying tactic. It's like it doesn't hint to anything substantial to me. Like, it's just like, okay, so you're telling everybody not to, I guess, watch my content or listen to my music anymore. I guess if we're talking about me specifically, like, okay, you're telling people to not watch my content. You're telling people to not listen to my music, not to buy my merchandise or whatever the case may be. What does that really do for you though? Like, why would you spend so much of your effort and energy trying to stop people from watching somebody's content or listening to somebody's music or canceling their shows or whatever the case may be? Like, what? I guess because I come from a different time period. I guess because I'm a little old.
Yeah.
And it's just like, why would you spend that much energy on something that doesn't really benefit you at all? Like, it's like people will put so much time and energy into something that they hate, but won't put that same time and people will put time and energy, so much time and energy into the things that they hate, but won't put that same time and energy into the things that they love.
Say it loud, say it loud.
People will rather go out and say hateful things on the internet and hate comments and just say the most randomest, wildest things. But when it's something that they actually enjoy and actually that they love, they don't talk about it. They don't put
promote it.
They don't put that same level of energy. If people put the same kind of energy into what they love
as versus
what they hate,
yeah,
a lot of people would be a lot further ahead in life. I'm just gonna put it out there. Like, a lot of you people are miserable, and you need to figure out what's wrong with your life. Because if you're putting that much energy into something that you hate, you need to be redirecting that energy somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like, you need to be doing something that's actually going to benefit you, which is why I'm calling 2025 the year of the selfish. All right? 2025 is the year of the selfish. 2024 was the year of revealing.
Yeah.
And my call for next year is going to be the year of selfish. People are going to show you who they truly are and who and what they're really about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm going to be the first one to say it. I've been selfish before it was cool. Right?
You got a song called Selfish.
I got a song called Selfish. All right?
All about you.
All about me, baby. All right? Cool. My album's called All About You. You know what I'm saying? Shoot. So people going to catch on to the wave this year. I feel like next year people are really going to catch on to the wave of, like, these things that people say and do and cancel culture, all that stuff, doesn't really affect your average day-to-day life.
Yeah, and like I mentioned earlier, I don't have no problem in holding someone accountable and telling them, for something they've done wrong. But like I said, like when the internet hates you, they're gonna hate you. But this is what I want us to understand. Like, we have to understand that at times the problem with cancel culture, and I think that's the root of it, the root of the issue, is that when we see people with such high influence, we have a hard time believing that these people can make mistakes. Yeah. When in actuality, they are human beings just like you and me. You know, it is what it is. And I'm talking about things that can be amended, of course. You know, I also realized as I started studying and researching about cancel culture more and more, that it is always fueled by individuals who already didn't like this content. You know, whether it be they didn't like the content creator, or they didn't like a certain celebrity, they weren't vibing with this influencer. It's always fueled by someone who doesn't like you already. And at times what they do is that they will wait for celebrities or creators or influencers to slip up so they can start the hate train. And then once they start the hate train, they get excited. But that can be really scary too.
Yeah, and my thing is, I think everybody just needs to, one, chill out, and two, really needs to look at themselves internally. Like, what is it about this person or this individual that's really upsetting you? Is it something that's even really bothering you? Or are you just jumping on to the trend that because I think a lot of this hate is not even really hate. I think a lot of it is people following trends.
Yeah, true.
Like, there's a thing that happens where it's like,
did you hear about so and so about it? Oh, really?
Perfect example. Even though, you know, it is a terrible situation, I can still talk about it. The whole Diddy situation.
Yeah.
Before this whole thing came out, everybody, I love Diddy. Diddy's great. Party with Diddy. Dance with Diddy. Do listen to his music. Great.
Rock it out like it's Diddy all night.
Now that all these things have come out about him, now everybody's on the hate train. All the people that loved him and appreciated him,
I didn't even like his songs. I didn't like his.
I never liked them. I always knew that he was this way, and it's just like, are you really hating, or are you just like following? Are you jumping on the trend to get some views? Same thing with content creators. Like, everybody's making videos about it and stuff now. Like, but what kind of content were you doing before that? Mm-hmm. Has your content ever mentioned music or Diddy or the music industry at all? And all of a sudden, all these people are doing videos about Diddy. It's like, I'm not going to excuse what the man did. What he did was wrong, and he deserves to be in jail, and I hope he stays there for the rest of his life. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like, are you genuinely concerned about the victims, which is what it should really be about? Mm-hmm. Or are you just trying to get on some views because it has the name Diddy in it? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I could have easily dropped a video on my channel saying Diddy in jail or whatever, and it got a bunch of easy views just because. And even would it make sense for me because I am a music channel, but that's not really what I do. That's not really what I'm interested in. I'm not. That's not. Yeah. I don't want to try to jump on a trend just to get views, and I feel like that's what a lot of this hate and cancel culture stuff is people just trying to ride a wave, one for clicks, one for likes, one for views,
spotlight,
for
moment of fame,
validation, feeling like you're part of the crowd, whatever, association with other people, like,
which is mainly where it comes from too, because it's easier to join the same philosophy of a group than go against them and stand up for your own beliefs or the way you feel about you strongly feel about a certain subject or a topic. And it's the same philosophy that, you know, the cancel culture is now dragging out to be on social media platforms. Because on Twitter, like, oh, I don't like the CEO or the person that created the platform. So cancel culture, you know, because I disagree with opinions. I disagree with points. But there was a time, and I'm not defending no one here. Let me make that very clear. But there was a time when we could disagree and still be best friends. Yeah. When we all shared different opinions with nobody easily getting offended or being offended about something, you know, and yet we were respectful. We moved on with our life and everybody was fine. Yeah. So what has happened now?
No idea. Honestly, I honestly don't have an answer for that. Because I mean, shoot, me and you don't even always agree or have the same opinion about everything.
Yeah.
You hate Resident Evil 4. I love it.
Yeah. And yet here we are.
Yeah, here we're still fine. Like
We're fine.
We're not like, oh, you hate Resident Evil 4, we can't be together. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, I don't get it. I honestly don't get it. And matter of fact, whoever's listening, if you understand this concept, please put that up in the comments or in, you know, I really want to understand what is behind it. Like, what is this really all about? Because to me, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
To like, okay, because like you want somebody, like I wouldn't even want to be with somebody that I agreed with 100% of the time.
It'd be boring.
Yeah. Like if me and you agreed on every single thing,
I'm like, what can we talk about?
that would be very annoying
Yeah.
and unnatural, honestly, because that's not how humanity works. That's not reality. You know, nobody is the same as anybody else. Nobody's going to have the same exact opinions of somebody else. Like, it's just, there's going to be different nuances and different little, like, oh, I agree with you on this point, but I think it should go this direction kind of thing. And to think that somebody should agree with everything that you think is kind of stupid.
Yeah, and it feels like people nowadays want to defend so much or want to have people understand where they're coming from or why they believe in a certain way or their lifestyle or whatever it is, you know, they're trying to defend. That it like blurs their vision and in understanding that in order for another person to understand how you feel, it doesn't necessarily have to carry out with the final response being, I agree and accept everything just the way you see it. Mm-hmm. You know, at a certain point, like we're going to have to exchange ideas. We're going to have to exchange differences and we're going to have to learn something from it at the end of the day.
That's how we grow and develop. And I think that's why the world is in a state that it's in now, because everybody's trying to be on the same page. Everybody's trying to be, there's I never thought that's a weird thing to say, but it's true. It's a little too much unity.
Yeah.
There's a little too much unity out there, not enough individuality. Like, I think we're losing the individuality that everybody used to have. Like, everybody was proud to be their own person and proud to be unique. Even, we're getting controversial today.
Oh, God. Just going to put it out there. All right.
Because when you talk about these things, you can't really have these kind of discussions without talking about the LGBTQ community.
Okay.
So even back in the day when, you know, before, you know, everything is the way it is now, it was like they were proud to be different. You know what I'm saying? It was like, oh, I'm different. I'm not like everybody else. I like men or I like women or whatever the case is. I'm this and I'm that. It was like a sense of pride to be different.
It was beautiful to see.
Yeah, it's like I want to be different. I accept the fact that I'm different and I want to be different. That's why coming out used to be such like a big thing. It would be like, I'm coming out, I'm letting y'all know that I'm, you know, this is who I am, blah, 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 blah.
And the family understood it because I do remember like people would be like, oh yeah, my cousin is this, and that. And we would like, disclose it.
I actually like the way that it used to be, where it used to be like a thing where you would come out and be like, hey, this is who I am, I'm different, blah, 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 blah. Now we're at a point where I feel like, once again, everybody's just jumping on the bandwagon. Mm-hmm. I honestly feel like some people say these things, say, oh, I'm gay or I'm lesbian or I'm trans, just to be a part of the crowd.
When they're not necessarily
when that's not really who you are. That's not really who you are. You want to be a part of something bigger than yourself, so you just lie about who you are. Instead of finding your own clan, being with people like you just try to jump in with the biggest, easiest, accessible crowd.
Which is disrespectful to that community, because if you were to be real and honest with yourself, then you would know how you self-identify yourself before just jumping into the community thinking, well, it's the trendy thing, it's the cool thing. The majority of the people are coming out stating these things, so let me come off and just like fake it. Because then the people that are actually self-identifying themselves that way will look at you and be like, you're ruining it for us.
Mm-hmm. And I've seen it happen a lot in the music industry. There are certain, I'm not even going too specific, but there are certain artists who I definitely believe lie about their sexual orientation for controversy, for views, for likes, for
Notoriety?
optics.
Yeah.
Just to be seen. If I come out and say this thing, everybody's gonna pay attention.
And I hate to say it, it's even like a marketing tactic sometimes, just to be able to reach that demographic. Because like, oh, I'm one of y'all. Now I can go do my concerts and do my tours. Come and support me because it's the cool thing now. When in actuality, that's not how they identify themselves.
So that's where my issue comes in at. It's like now it's not about being individual. It's about I just want to be part of the crowd. I want to be this. I want to be that. To the point now where people have to like identify as animals and like all this kind of weird stuff
There's
that's
a label
happening.
and tag
It's like
for
I'm just people are trying to find a way to be individuals now because just being a person isn't individual enough because everybody is trying to be the same thing and do the same thing, and music is.
Which is the same thing we're explaining right now about the celebrity era, where everybody feels like they want to be a celebrity. They want to live that luxurious life, and show it off and see, look how good I'm doing. But, you can only see so much on the internet, and you never know if this creator, first of all, if it's their business, they're getting things for free. They could also, that purse, that bag, that Gucci bag you might be seeing this girl showing off might be rented. Might be fake. There's multiple things. Like, you don't know, and you can't just take everything by face value, because you don't know if it's even real or not. But
speaking of which,
yeah,
since we're talking about that, let's talk about it. You can't even judge people by the views on their YouTube channel.
Ooh. Oh Lord.
You can't even like, oh, this person got 10,000 views, they must be doing good. Cause cats is out here buying views.
Oh God.
Cats out here buying views, buying subscriptions, follow for follow. So you can't even trust the numbers. It's in a bad state where you can't even trust statistics.
No.
Which is supposed to be the ultimate truth.
Nope.
Numbers are never supposed to. Remember, that's the thing. The numbers don't lie.
Numbers don't lie.
Now they do. Now they do.
Yeah.
Now the numbers do lie. Because people manipulate the numbers and change the numbers and find ways to alter the numbers to be different than what they should be. So now even the numbers lie.
Yeah.
So you can't even really trust what you see in front of you. Like it could be right there. You can see it. I see the video, but none of it is real.
Yeah. It's like it's an apple. It's red. Is it a fruit?
Probably not. Might be paint. I don't know. Might be AI. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? You just don't know. It's like those videos you see on like TikTok or
it's
Instagram
like it's blue.
Like that.
Is it blue? No, it was not blue.
No, it's like when you see it, it'll be the couple. It'd be like two girls or something, and it'd be a dude talking to them. You'd be like, hey, why don't you call your boyfriend on the phone? And and then they call the boyfriend, and he finds out that he's cheating, and the other girl was sleeping with him, and whatever.
I thought you were my friend.
I thought you were my friend. Those, like, some people actually believe those videos are real.
Yeah. There's even certain we've discussed this about content where it's called rage baiting, where they create content to trigger that emotion in the viewer, and if you fall for it, then yeah, that's a perfect definition of rage baiting.
One of these days, I would like to do an experiment. Just for funsies.
Just for the funsies, just to see.
Just for funsies, I would like to come up with something like super controversial for like a title for the video.
Yeah.
And just have like.
Just to see how people react.
And the video be have nothing to do with that at all.
Yeah. Just to see.
Like I don't even know. I'm trying to think of something crazy. It's just crazy, off the wall. Donald Trump makes Kamala Harris his vice president or something like that. Just something wild, just to see how people react.
You really had to think that one hard.
Yeah, just something crazy off the wall, and just something that you absolutely know there's no way that is true, and see how many people clock into that. Cause it's crazy what you can do with the right kind of rage bait or the right kind of like hook or the right kind of story, even though it's not true.
This is the real issue I'm noticing too, and I'm actually gonna read it exactly how I wrote it.
All right.
And I want you to tell me what you think about this.
Spit.
This is the thing I've noticed about cancel culture. and I wrote the following. I want you guys to tell me in the comments if you agree with this or what are your thoughts. So let's look into this. I wrote, I know that parasocial relationships exist because when you've watched a creator enough times and you keep up with them, you feel like you know them. But that's not necessarily the case.
Because you don't.
Because you don't. Exactly. So in other words, we need to stop idolizing them and understand that they're just that. They're just influencers. They're just content creators. They're just celebrities on whatever platform you're seeing them on. Mm-hmm. So you can just to simply avoid being fazed by something they've done. Because when you understand that they're just that, then anything can happen. You know what I mean? And it's not going to faze you. But I feel like people create this almost like fantasy friendship, which in part it's partially our fault. I will throw myself in there because the job of a content creator is you want to connect with your community. So you're always looking to bond with the viewer. You're always looking to create that relationship, to create a community around the content you make. But what fails there is setting the line, like drawing a line and letting them know this is the type of relationship we have. And beyond this point, the rest of it is private. It's personal. Like off cameras, this is mine. You understand what I mean? Like making people understand that. But I think the problem, and this is where I'm getting with it, is that we have a generation that has normalized oversharing on social media. Okay. Everything is, you're oversharing everything. You're oversharing your private life. You're oversharing your personal life. You're oversharing your children. You're oversharing your material gains. You know, everything. You're oversharing everything. So you don't leave anything for yourself. So obviously, how is this person going to feel? They feel like they know you. They feel they know all 10 fun facts about ZapCristal. I know them all. You know, I know all her kids. I know her husband. I know the house she lives in. I know the car. I know all. We're besties. You see where I'm going with it?
Nah, I totally.
So then if I step in and something happened one day, then they're like, what happened? Because they're idolizing you. You know, they looked up to you. And it's almost like, and then the cancel culture just comes in because it's almost like you're disappointed.
Yeah, I can see that. I guess I can. Actually, no, I can't see it. I'm not even gonna say I can see it. No, I can't.
Go ahead.
Maybe I'm just built differently, but I've just never had that kind of attachment to a celebrity before. Like I've never.
Thank you for bringing it up. Yeah, go ahead. No, expand. I want to hear you.
Like I don't understand. Like I once again in the comments, please break it down to me. Explain it to me. I don't get it. At the end of the day, they're just people. They're just people that provide a product or a service or whatever it is. I love Jay-Z. I've always been a big Jay-Z fan. I love his music. He's the one that made me want to get into doing rap. Because before that, I was just doing R&B.
Yeah.
But Jay-Z is still a person.
Exactly.
He's still a human. I don't know what he does in his personal life. I don't know if he's a good person or not. That's not really my concern. I don't care. Is the music good? Give me some good music. I'm fine. I don't care about your personal life. I don't care about your marriage to Beyonce. I don't care about your kids. That's not really what I'm here for. I'm here for the music. Like, do you got some music or not?
Yeah.
That's what I'm here for. And then I get what I want and then I leave. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not, I want to know what Jay-Z's like in his real life and I want to like, no, it's like, I just want some music, bro. Like, at the end of the day, it's all entertainment. Like, we are here to give entertainment. We're here to be entertaining. Like, that's the purpose. That we are here to be entertaining. That's the point. I make music to entertain people. So people can listen to it, dance to it, have fun to it, to share it with their friends, whatever the case may be. So I'm like, that's that's all I am, and that's all I offer. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't. If you come to my YouTube channel, if you come to my social media, if you come to whatever, you're gonna see some music. You're gonna see some music. You might see a picture of me and my wife every once in a while, just because I like my wife, and I kind of want to show off. I think my wife's kind of cute, so I want to show off a little bit.
And that's why I said it's been my fault, because in the early years, I wasn't mature enough to understand these things. You know what I mean? So I made that mistake, like everyone else at some point, because somehow, content creators thought that by oversharing that would help, but it's not necessarily true, And
for some people that works, and for some people it doesn't. It's just, for me, I'm just not built that way. If I let you know what I want you to know, and anything I don't want you to know, you're not gonna know.
Yeah.
So it's like there's a limit. Like we've talked about this before. Like when our son was born, we made a decision that we're going to limit how much camera time he gets.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we're going to try to keep that as low as we possibly can, because we don't want to enforce that life upon him. We don't want him. We want him to have a choice. So when he's old enough to make that decision, he can decide if he wants to be in front of the camera or not.
Exactly.
He can decide if he wants to be seen on social media. He can. I don't know. Like I said, I just simply don't understand that state of mind where somebody falls in love with a celebrity and they just want to know everything about them, research their life, know all the, I've never been that kind of person where I cared about somebody's personal life.
And then if something happens, they're quick to defend that other person because they have a hard time believing
and
that this person is a human being.
Yeah. And me, I'm the exact opposite. As soon as I hear some stuff, I believe it.
Yeah.
I'm like, he might have. As soon as when that Diddy stuff came out, I was like, I think he might have did it. He might have.
I will just put it out there. I just think that instead of falling in this cancel culture, which is just a fancy word for bullying, because I really think it's just that, bullying, I think we just need to focus on ourselves, which is what we've been explaining at the beginning. Mm-hmm. Focus on ourselves, focus on our own individual growth.
Facts.
And whatever spaces we choose to be in. It sounds cringy when sometimes people be like, go out there and touch some grass. But you know what? Actually go out there and touch some grass. Because if you disconnect yourself for a minute from social media and the internet, you're going to quickly realize how a lot of these things are just built for social media and internet. And in real life, it doesn't look nothing like it.
Facts.
So,
and you also get a good view of what your own life looks like. Yeah.
And most importantly, and this is a quote I read not too long ago, and I absolutely love this. And it says the following. It says, you can't learn from your mistakes if you don't make mistakes.
That is true. That is a fact. I like it.
So I'm ready to transition to Spotlight, man.
Ready?
You ready?
Okay.
And just hit them with that. Pew.
I'll let you have that
one. we're embracing.
Yeah. I'm letting you have that one. Go ahead, do it again.
No unity. Pew. Pew.
It's all yours.
Pew, pew, pew,
this is your
pew,
show,
pew,
baby.
Pew, pew, pew. Don't test me. I'll keep pewing away. You can't learn from your mistakes if you don't make mistakes. That's what we're going to be talking about in Spotlight.
All right.
Yeah. I got a whole list that I want to share with everyone who's listening to this podcast. And by the way, if you've been enjoying this, and you've been enjoying the entirety of season 1, season 2, and now season 3.
Season 3.
There's one way that you can show us your support.
How's that?
And that is rating the show, leaving reviews, letting us know how we're doing.
Yeah.
But most importantly, they can visit us at www.ZapCristal.com.
Oh, yeah.
And join that email list.
Yeah. Get on that thing.
Get on the newsletter. It's a bi-weekly newsletter where we keep you informed of everything that's going on, including the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
And that way you don't miss out on anything.
No,
you're going to be VIP, front row. Yeah.
I was about to say something, but I probably shouldn't say that.
But It's not only so you can stay up to date with the stuff that is going on ZapCristal, but you can also be a part of the MSM family by simply visiting www.masterstoremusic.com. There's an MSM CD shop over there.
Yes, it is.
If you're looking for physical goodies, I know you.
Mm-hmm.
You can't.
You're a collector.
You're a collector, huh? It's calling your name.
Why don't you collect these CDs?
All about you. In our love journeys, calling your name. Go pick it up. Yeah, there you go. And they got a newsletter. So, yeah, thank you. But yeah, you could do that. But I'm also sharing a list of things that you should forgive yourself for.
Okay, that was a hell of a segue, but okay.
So I'm going to share this list, and as you listen to it, I want you to choose one.
Okay.
That you would like to expand on, and it is something that you're working on.
Okay.
For yourself.
How many is there?
There is actually, that's a very good question. Let me see real quick.
Should I only get to pick one?
Just maybe 15.
Okay.
So 1 out of 15.
Ooh, that's gonna be rough. All right, let's get
All right. So you should forgive yourself. Number 1, for the lessons you learned a little too late.
Okay.
Number 2, for the times you disappointed yourself.
Okay.
Number 3, for taking your time to get to where you need to be. Number 4, for not being able to forgive so quickly.
Okay.
And I'm going to stop saying numbers because I'm really bad at this point. So let's move on.
Yeah, we all
Next.
know that you have issue with counting. There's a video on YouTube that proves that.
I do not know what he's talking about. Anyways, you should forgive yourself for the things you said out of anger. Next up is for mistakes from the past.
Like it.
Following up is you should forgive yourself for your failed relationships and for all that comes next. You can also forgive yourself for the people you have judged at some point.
Okay.
And you should also forgive yourself for your self-criticism, as well as for your shortcomings at work,
Okay.
for moments of laziness. But most importantly, you should forgive yourself for all the ways you have changed.
Okay.
So, based on this list, what stood out to you? And if you need a little bit more time, maybe I can talk about mine.
It was, I think it was like go back 4 from the bottom.
Is it for your failed relationships?
No, after that.
For all that comes next?
Keep going.
For the people you have judged? For your self-criticism?
Maybe go 5 back.
For mistakes from the past? For the things you said out of anger? And for not being able to forgive so quickly?
Okay.
And for taking your time to get to where you need to be?
Okay. Forgiving yourself for taking your time to where you need to be.
Yeah, so it says forgive yourself for taking your time to get to where you need to be. Is that the one?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's the one. Okay, so that one kind of wraps up how I used to be. Like there was a point where I would get upset with myself for not growing fast. Like, oh, why have I not hit 1,000 subs yet? Or why have I not gotten this? And why have I not gotten that? And this and that and that. And I would be down and hard on myself for not reaching those goals and obtaining those heights that I want to. And so that one kind of hit home for me. Because you do have to, once, like you said, forgive yourself for not, for taking the time. Because maybe there's a reason why you're taking your time. Maybe there's skills you need to develop. Maybe your content just isn't good enough. Maybe you still have some internal issues you need to deal with. Or maybe God is preparing you for something else. Or maybe you're in the wrong niche. Or maybe you're not doing things the way that you really want to do them. Or maybe you're trying to do things this way that's not working that way. And there may be hundreds and thousands of reasons why you aren't where you think you should be. And the one that I think most people don't look at because they don't want to admit it is that maybe where you think you should be isn't where you actually should be.
Ooh.
What makes you think that you deserve to have 1,000 subscribers, or or 10,000 subscribers or 30,000. How do you deserve that? How do you make that judgment for yourself? Maybe where you think you should be is not where you're prepared to be. Or maybe you're not meant to be there. Not everybody is meant to be at the top. Not everybody is meant to have 1 million subs. Not everybody's meant to be the greatest musician of all time. And not everybody is going to be the top of what they do.
Yeah.
What is more important is to be happy with where you are and your growth. So instead of...
We talked about this in a previous episode. Are you happy with where you are at in life?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep. And for me, it's like instead of comparing myself to others, I compare myself to myself. So, all right, TJ of last year versus TJ of this year, who wins? TJ of this year. Okay, cool. I'm doing good. If the TJ of a previous year is doing better than a TJ of a current year, that's when I know I have a problem. So when you compare yourself to yourself, there's less of, this guy has 10,000 subscribers, I need to get to that level. Like, no, the TJ of 2 years ago was at 300 subscribers. The TJ of today is at 600 subscribers. I didn't double where I was. Yeah. That's progress. I am getting further along. So I think it's easier when you compare yourself to yourself.
Yeah, because you're not competing with outsiders. You're competing with yourself.
Competing with yourself. Like, all right, I beat what I did last year. Can I beat that this year? Can I beat that this year? Can I beat that this year? So as long as you're moving forward, you're making progress, and you're doing better, then that's all you can really want or desire. It's like, why would you want any more of that? Why would you want to be in a position that maybe is not built for you? You know, everybody wants to be a celebrity until they become a celebrity.
Oh, facts. Facts upon facts.
Yeah, once you get that fame and that fortune and all that stuff, then you have other things you have to worry about. You think that all your problems are going to be solved because you have a bunch of money now?
Nope.
No, actually, you have more problems because you have a lot of money. Because now everybody wants some of your money, and now you got more taxes to pay, and now more people are going to be looking to you for help, and all your family members are going to come out the woodworks.
Your great grandmother out of nowhere.
Great grand cousin, second removed twice on your mama's uncle's daddy's side.
Everybody want a slice of that pie.
Biggie said it best: more money, more problems.
Yeah.
So it's like same thing with fame. You know, some people can't handle it. Can you handle being in the spotlight all the time? Can you? Like, I know that's one thing for me. Like, once I reach a certain level, I'm probably gonna quit because I can't live my life with a camera in my face all the time. I can't live a life having to, bend to the whims of YouTube or Spotify or whatever the case may be. Like, I know that there's a certain limit of how much I'm willing to play, because after a certain point, I like to be able to turn the cameras off. I like to be able to throw my phone to the side, and I like to be able to be left alone and mind my own business.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not meant for me to be a celebrity because I'm not built for that life. I'm not built for always having to watch what I do and watch what I say and be concerned and cancel culture and all that kind of, like, I don't care about any of that stuff. So it's like, I would be a terrible celebrity because I'd be the most boring celebrity of all time because nobody would know nothing about me. So
yeah.
So it's like, not everybody is meant for that life. Not everybody's meant to be famous. Not everybody's meant to be rich. Not everybody's meant to be this, and not everybody's meant to be that. So you need to be happy with where you are and achieving the goals that you want to achieve for yourself, not for validation or likes or views or for for other people. You need to be happy within yourself because, once again, like we talked about before, happiness
is a choice. And if you don't have the most faintest idea of what we're talking about, you need to go and listen to this episode because I think it's just one of my favorite episodes from season 3. Like you said, it was your favorite episode, and now the more I go back and listen to
it's my favorite episode, man.
It's
my favorite.
It's
episode.
A really good episode.
Definitely go check that out. But yeah, that's me.
All right.
Forgive yourself for taking the time to be where you want to be.
So mine is real simple, short and sweet. I forgive myself for the lessons I've learned a little too late, which is the very first one on my list.
Nice.
I chose this one because I don't, and there's a minor disagreement with this phrase because it says a little too late, but I feel like in life, it's never too late to learn your lessons.
Honestly, that's kind of why I didn't choose that one.
So I'm going to amend it.
You're going to flip it a little bit.
I'm going to flip it.
See, I didn't know we could do that. See, I would have picked that one too.
Yeah, so I'm going to say I forgive myself for the lessons that took me some time to learn. I'm going to put it that way.
Okay, I like it.
Because, most of the time you get yourself into messy situations where you knew from the beginning, you felt it in your guts, like people like to say, that something was not right. Something just wasn't sitting right. Something was off. And instead of believing in yourself and readdressing or addressing that concern or taking the steps immediately to stop or prevent you from ending up in a situation you don't want to be in, you self-doubt yourself.
Yeah.
You ignore all those signs.
Sounds about right.
It's kind of like when a fire alarm goes off. You're like, nah, it's not. It's okay. It's okay.
It's not that hot.
It's not that. But then once you know it, the whole house is on fire.
It's not that hot. It's all right. I'm good. I'm good.
That's, actually, what is that? It's always this one metaphor that back in science class, they always used to use this as an example. And I feel like it's perfect for what I'm explaining right now. But have you ever heard about when they say this experiment where you put a frog in a pot and they would start heating up the water, but the water was cold and then it's like warm, but the frog is just there, it's just chilling, like, because they can't really feel any difference. And it's not until the water is boiling and unfortunately what happens, that then it's just too late. And yeah, actually I had a science teacher who used this metaphor, which was quite shocking because he was like, dang, like, wow, this is...
You cooking frogs now? That's what we're doing?
Yeah, apparently, she might have been a witch, but anyhow, but...
Oh, you mean like you? Okay.
But basically, she was just trying to explain in other words that that's how a lot of us are in life. Where we stay in a situation and we just mingle with it, let it linger for a while. And then once we realize the magnitude of it, it's already gotten out of hand. And we should have done something when we could have. Because now we could, but now there's like a bunch of consequences, a bunch of scars. You're hurt, you're dealing with a lot. So taking the time to heal yourself is probably going to take longer because it took you some time to realize it. Okay. So that's where I'm coming from. So I have to remind myself from time to time that there's a lot of situations.
I thought you were going somewhere else for a minute. Keep going.
No, there's a lot of situations that have like triggered certain emotions in me that I'm like, why didn't I act upon a certain way? Or why didn't I just say this when I should have? Or why didn't I just stop this friendship or relationship from getting to where it did when it was not meant to be? Which hits with what you said. Sometimes we force ourselves to be in friendships or in relationships thinking that that's where we're meant to be when it's not. Yeah. So if anything, I'm glad now that with those lessons learned, I know myself. I know how to set boundaries. I know how to say no. I have the right to collaborate or not collaborate.
Facts.
I have the right to decide if tomorrow I'm going to not make a video, or make a video or,
Facts.
Take time off for myself.
Facts.
And be like, hey, I need a date for myself, I think that's what I'm grateful for from the lessons I've learned now. But like I said, and that's why the quote hit me, you can't learn from your mistakes if you don't make mistakes.
Yeah.
So I'm like, did it suck? Yes, it did. I hate that for us to learn the majority of the times as human beings, we kind of got to go through it. Yeah. But if anything, It just made me a stronger person. I've matured, and I can take what I've learned into, these newer scenarios in my life and do the best that I can. So yeah. So take that list with y'all. And
that was a delicious burger.
Actually, let us know what other things you think should be added to this list of things that you should forgive yourself for. Like, maybe feel free if you feel comfortable enough in sharing a situation and what you've learned from it. And who knows? You might inspire other people, uplift people that are feeling down right now. You might teach us a thing or two. Like, feel free. Like, it's not just about what we talk about. Feel free to disagree.
Yeah. And I'll feel free to disagree back with you.
We can agree to disagree.
Or we can just disagree.
Or disagree.
So with that being said,
I want to remind you
to reset
and zap. For
the week.
No, we got to do it like I did earlier. For
the
week.
Yeah. Okay.
Now say it again. Sing it.
I'm lost now.
For the week.
I'm out.